Greg, Nashville, Tennessee. You're in the Wilkow majority. Hello.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I look at this whole thing, how this whole thing's working out, and this whole the debate, the protests all over the country, and I think of one thing: divide and conquer. You guys in the conservative radio, you're doing everything you can to make sure that the American people stay divided. The reason why they're successful in Egypt right now is because they're all united. So
you can't compare what's going on in Egypt to what's going on here. Can't compare
it. You conservative talk show people are dividing the American people. We should all be protesting to make sure we start drilling for oil in this country, not dividing and worried about whether unions are protesting or not, because it's all irrelevant if we're paying $4 or $5 a gallon for gas in the next.
Sir, you'll have no argument on this program about drilling for domestic product. You'll have no argument here. As far as dividing people, what do you mean dividing people? When we're standing up for the rights of taxpayers to elect a government who will rein in its government spending and return more liberty and property to the taxpayers who fund government, how is that dividing? Or is it in the absence of me laying down and being run over by organized unions, I'm the one dividing?
You're manipulating the public to be a divided
how am I manipulating, sir? How am I manipulating when I host a radio program on a subscription-based radio service that you neither have to pay for nor listen to?
How did the Tea Party form? You guys had nothing to do with forming.
How dare why don't you just say what you really mean? How dare people like you and like-minded people exercise their First Amendments to petition the government for redress of grievances? Do you feel the same way about these union protesters? Are they dividing? Are union protesters dividing people?
The cause of all this is out-of-control government spending. It's not the unions.
Who do you think is causing the out-of-control government spending? Who do you think is elevating the cost of the state workforce? The unions or the taxpayers?
The government.
The unions have been running the government for almost 50 years, sir.
Country is the funding of...
Okay, thank you very much for the call. Last time I checked, we have the First Amendment. That includes these union protesters. Nobody's trying to take that away from them.